Over 75% of the problems we have in the world today come from men behaving badly. And you'll discover that from this podcast today. Please stay focused on me for the next few minutes. You know, I never fill my podcast with entertainment. There are places out there, there are ample number of them out there for you. But I'm here to give you practical, life-changing messages to help you deal with life's challenges. I am David Eyiangho, and I welcome you to this episode of NTSL Wisdom Mining Podcast, a show where I reveal how wisdom impacts your daily life, because success is by design is 80% wisdom. And if you have a lot of wisdom, you will have your world under your control. Thank you, and I appreciate your investment of your precious time to be part of this show today. I want to ask you to please subscribe to the show. If you have not already done that, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. That will be great, and thank you for doing just that. It costs you nothing to subscribe, and you can always unsubscribe if you don't get any value from our show. Your subscription helps the show rating to reach out to more fathers and mothers globally, as this is a show dedicated to family and finance, the two best couples in life. Your subscriptions also means you will get an alert when a new dose of wisdom is available to your family. And secondly, I also want to ask you to become part of the Happy Warriors Inner Circle by formally becoming a member. This is where we share practical, life-changing messages to help you deal with life's challenges. We meet once a month on our special online call that you can join from anywhere in the world. Our monthly webinar is your resource baskets of things that you can access, things that are extremely useful as we grapple with many significant decisions that we all have to make every day. It is a place where you connect with people who have similar outlook to life as you do. We regularly share NTSL timeless and game-changing e-notes that has helped other people with exactly the same decisions that you are making. All of that happens when you are a Happy Warrior Inner Circle member. The link to become a Happy Warrior Inner Circle member is in the show notes below. Please don't hesitate to join us. So the topic of the show today is the sins of the fathers. Here is something very important to be aware of. Anytime you hear somebody condemning a line of thinking because it is judgmental, you should dismiss that, because being judgmental is not an overall indictment of anything whatsoever. Everything on planet Earth is being judged all the time, 24/7. Any choice you make is like a double-edged sword. It will cut you in a bad way or in a good way. This is because consequences are already built into everything God created. Everything God created is wrapped in its own laws. So we don't even need a police officer checking things that we do in our secret room. The laws take care of them automatically for us. The Bible talks about eternal judgment, which is something that is completely different, and that will be a topic for another day. But I want you to consider this scenario. Al Capone is a notorious criminal. Al Capone's son had a lot of trouble getting a job in the bank. It is not fair, of course. Al Capone's son was law-abiding example. Okay, I must admit, I don't even know if Al Capone had a son, and I'm not certainly, I don't know if he has tried to get a job at the bank. But you can imagine what happens when he goes in and he applies for a bank job, and the bank manager says, "What is your name?" He says, "Al Capone Jr." Bank manager raised, of course, his eyebrows and said, "Is there any chance that there's any relationship to the Al Capone that is currently serving time in a federal prison?" Then he replies, "Oh yes, he is my dad. I get to visit with him once a month." And now I'm quite sure the bank manager will say, "Thanks very much indeed. We will let you know." And I believe that will be the end of that application. Why? Because it does not make sense for the bank to hire Al Capone. If anything should ever go wrong, the board of directors will say to the bank manager, "What were you thinking?" Yes, of course, this is unfair on the Al Capone son. How about this one? Somebody say a woman goes on drugs. She smokes cigarettes like chimney, and she drinks a lot of alcohol during the time that she is carrying a child to birth. Yes, that child will pay the price. Is it unfair? Yes, of course it is unfair. But it is how the world really works. So, if I was a man looking to get married and have children, she will never make the good list. Here is another one. When you buy a car insurance, your driving record is being judged. Maybe even your gender and the age are being judged. If you are 19-year-old male trying to buy car insurance, you can bet that you are being judged as part of a group, which makes it even worse. You see, there is nothing wrong with judging. We make judgments all the time in our lives. And yes, it is perfectly possible for a young man or a young woman to be confronted by two marital possibilities where they will try and judge which one is superior, which one will be in the best interest to go with and get married to. When the Bible speaks about the sins of the fathers being visited upon the children to the next generation and the generation after, this is what the Bible is really talking about. The Bible is not talking about lightning and thunderbolt striking us dead for our sins. No. The Bible is talking about the fact that our children benefit from good things that we do as parents, and they suffer from the bad things we do. That is how the world really works. Please remember that for the rest of your life. And here is a shocker. Some ignorant people push against the fact that divorce is a judgmental idea against a man. Please remember, this is very important because man is the only gene carrier. The Bible did not say the sins of the mothers. Only man carry the gene of life. So they say divorce isn't bad. It is just one of those things that happen to some people, some good ones, some bad ones. I'll disagree and I say no. For those of you that have passed through that gate, you know very well divorce is terrible. Excuse me. There is no question about it. There are statistics for divorce of people who themselves grew up in divorce homes that are very, very and pretty bad. Especially when the divorce was acrimonious, where the two couples tear themselves apart, make the lives of the children like hell on earth. They allow the judge to sit there, laugh, and maybe marinate in their agony, pains, and all the evil things with divorce. But divorce does not necessarily mean you are a bad human being, but it does have bad impacts. And those impacts go down to future generations. In other words, the damage a divorce does flows into the next generation, really and seriously, and it really does. Someone must stand in the gap as a bridgeman to prevent damage to next generation. And how you do this is a topic for another day, of course. We may get away with doing evil for what may appear to be a very long time, but justice will not allow us to escape the wrath of the Creator. He is forever watching what we are doing. So make no mistake about that. So the sins of the father is a real big deal in the health of the future generations, and therefore also impact the health of a society and the health of our planet Earth. You must understand that. This is one of the things I wish I was told before I was 13. That's why the number one rule of life is know the code for success. They will never teach you this in the schools and colleges. The good news is that at NTSL, Coaching by Design, that is simply our number one mission. So think with NTSL today. Be part of our Happy Warrior Inner Circle. The web page and other information, they are in the show notes, but you can go to this web page, ntsl.com/success. Remember, when you understand a thing, it will work for you 24/7 any day. So in life, it is what you don't know that that is holding you back. So you have to be wise. Keep on acquiring wisdom every day of your life. That's why NTSL is where wisdom lives, because success by design is 80% wisdom. And if you have a lot of wisdom, you will have your world under your control. And that is all we have time for today. So I want to thank you for listening. Please let me know your number one takeaway from this show. Leave your comments below. Until next show, I wish you a passionate and profound growth in your families, in your friendships, in your finances, in your fitness, as well as in your faith. Remember, NTSL coaching is a safe place in an unsafe world. You stay safe and you stay blessed.